Areas at risk of forced home sales. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this realestate.com.au article, originally from the Herald Sun. Now, it's from a few days ago and it's kind of a counter-argument to the experts yesterday that were predicting no forced home sales coming out of Victoria. And of course, it's based on the evidence provided from DFA, Digital Finance Analytics, and the good work that Martin North is doing there. I like to, put forward all of the different strategies and dialogues and articles that are presented to us, because most people only read the headline. They'll only read the headline. They won't look a little deeper. And, you've got to understand, different organizations have ideological positions, and frankly, I think a lot of Australians are invested in keeping a property bubble going. They really are. I mean, who wouldn't? You're a genius. Make a fortune of an increase in your property. It's ludicrous when my property has gone up according to the bank, which I don't believe for an instant. But I was going to Rachel going, this is insane. We've made all this money theoretically in equity, and we haven't had to do anything for it. It's not right. But it creates this perverse feedback loop where we're all incentivized to just pile into property, because it's more cost effective for you to put your resources into property than into starting a business, than into being innovative, than into creating jobs and employing people. So that's why anyone who puts a counter argument to the narrative that property is going to the moon, shooting up, or maybe it's a bubble forming, tends to get slammed in the media or get sidelined. Well, now, more and more organizations, the banks, the RBA, even the government are predicting a fall in property. There's debate about the extent in property prices or how much they're going to fall. Some experts arguing we won't even see forced sales in Melbourne. I find that frankly hard to believe, just looking at the impact of this recession on our GDP and how it's just really started. Unemployment still isn't doing too bad. It can get a lot worse than this. So we'll have to see. Let's have a look at this article. So fears are rising, Melbourne's battler suburbs will bear the brunt of a looming mortgagee sale crisis. Modeling by boutique financial consultancy Digital Finance Analytics. I mean, that's probably that's kind of the best way you want to describe your firm. Boutique. I think they're doing quite a nice way to describe DFA. For Martin, he's a boutique. I'm going to use that now. A boutique financial consultancy. Quite specific. Shows upward of 437,000 Victorian homeowners are now spending almost all of their income on bills and their mortgage. So they've gone to the wall. But see, here's the thing: has DFA accounted for the fact that people will just afterpay? Or what? You know what you do. I've got the solution. I've got the solution here, everyone. You just get 100 no-interest credit cards from the CommBank and use that to pay your mortgage. What do you reckon? And then you afterpay them off. Easy. Guaranteed. There'll be no risk. And of course, I'm being facetious there, guys. That's a joke. I know some people, it's YouTube. More than 25,000 of that number are at risk of defaulting in the next year, according to their algorithms. 25,000. Because people are hoping there'll be a recovery next year, or even this year. Can you see it happening? Can you see it happening? And remember, your property isn't worth what you pay for it. Here's the harsh reality, guys. It's not even worth what the bank says it's worth. If you go on there and have a look, if you get the nice feels, when you look at your bank, your house is worth this much. Yeah, it's not worth that either. It's not even worth what the government or state government says it is, or the council says it is. No state government. With the land valuation. That's just what they use to justify how much they're going to take from you. It's worth what someone will walk up the street and put an offer on the table for you. That's what it's worth. And if we start seeing forced sales, if we start seeing one property fall over after another, it's just going to be the edge cases. The last sale in your street, the last sale in your area that's going to influence the price and value of your property. So if we start seeing even a small number of these defaults, and if they start to snowball, that's when it can get nasty. Because then psychologically people are thinking, well, if that went down 10%, I can wait a little bit more. It may go down another 5. Maybe, I'll save some money. Because these are big purchases. These are long-time big purchases, and people move slowly. The figures show postcode 3,350 in Ballarat as Australia's most challenged, with 7,462 households living without any financial wiggle room and 244 facing foreclosure. And I think the banks will do whatever they can to avoid foreclosing on property. Because, it's a costly exercise for them. It's a pain. They'll rather keep you in there, drag you on. I think next we'll see interest only for people living in the house. So essentially you're renting your house off the bank. But 8 outer ring Melbourne postcodes featured in the nation's top 30 by number of households in stress, including Cranbourne with 5,532, and a staggering 740 are tipped to face a forced sale. DFA Principal Martin North warned growth areas were particularly at risk, as they had a high proportion of recent purchases, meaning higher mortgages and lower equity. That's kind of gut-wrenching. It also means it's going to be the young people. It's going to be the younger generation that jumped on this property bandwagon here that are going to cop it. High-growth postcodes are seeing high stress, he said. And there is a strong correlation between mortgage stress and default. There's also, a strong correlation between financial stress and other issues, other social issues in families. National Growers Area Alliance Executive Officer Browan Clark said she feared an avalanche of mortgagee sales could see a house price crunch in some Melbourne growth areas at the end of JobKeeper, when a harsh reality will set in. See, this is the thing. We haven't really seen the impacts of this recession haven't been felt yet. I know a lot of people will say they would have, but they haven't yet. JobKeeper still exists. It still exists. You've got the dole bonus, the job seeker bonus. You've got mortgage holidays, everyone. And, my favorite, trading while insolvent. You don't even have to be, profitable, able to pay your bills when they fall due in business anymore. That's such an old-fashioned concept. We don't need that, guys. Let's bring back paid when paid. So, we can't really say we've felt the recession yet. See, even our recessions these days are softer than the past, because we're wrapping up our recessions in bloody cotton wool, guys. We've got snowflake recessions. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really hard. It's going to hit a lot of people. And in Victoria, we were looking as well. People who were desperate to sell can't now, because their real estate industry is entirely shut down. We would imagine in the next 6 months we would see a lot of movement in the outer suburbs, Mr. Clark said. All of this distress will lead to lower house prices as people are selling out of desperation. Non-bank lender First Mac, which has $13 billion in loans nationwide, figures show 1 in 20 of their Victorian borrowers are now in hardship arrangements such as mortgagee holidays. First Mac Chief Financial Officer James Austin said the figure was closer to 1 in 10 for those working in professional services, retail or education, and training following the stage 4 lockdown. 1 in 10. The firm would also begin urging some to sell in as little as 3 weeks' time, and other lenders were expected to do the same, Mr. Austin said. So we're starting to see the taps on the shoulders, the forced sales. Or not really forced sales yet, just the general, mate, you got to get out of this. And it sounds harsh, but maybe it's the best thing people can do. Getting out of the debt that they're in. Rent's cheaper. There's lots of available property. Maybe it's the first time they get off the treadmill, guys. There is more concern about Victoria now than any other state, and has been softer in prices than any other state, he warned. Investors with multiple properties and homeowners struggling with repayments who had bought recently and had little equity would be the first to hear from their banks, he advised. I think banks will be urging some to sell, but I don't expect they will be forcing them to, he said. So it looks like we're not having the forced sales. So maybe we won't have the forced sales quite yet, as the other experts were saying, but you'll get the gentle tap on the shoulder to encourage you to sell, which is going to be hard in an economy where Victoria's locked everything down. So what do you think, everyone? What do you think? Do you think property will rebound? Or is it just going to be a slow impact of this recession? And do you agree with me that we haven't really seen the impact of it yet? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. Simply interacting with the videos, commenting, sharing, really helps a lot. You can financially support us by joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon, buying our merch from Teespring or the HeiseSays website. You can use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. Use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint or support us via PayPal. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you next time.